Does your party not give a damn about sex crimes anymore? This looks like the sexual assault administration led by a president.
Really? Those are loaded propaganda words. Crimes.
Hold on.
They've been convicted of some crimes.
Hold on. This new bar where accusations don't matter, only convictions do.
Don't you believe in the right to defend yourself?
Is it President Musk and Vice President Trump?
No, it is not. That is just silly. Elon Musk is going to be a strong ally.
How long till they fall out?
They will not fall out.
Welcome back to Rattlesnake TV, guys. There has been many sleepless nights for Mehdi Hasan since Trump won the election. And in this video, we are going to be watching Mehdi crying his eyes out, coping, seething, butthurt, all the rest. And we're going to see him going for the same old slurs and the same old arguments that got Trump elected. Mehdi here is debating against a Trump surrogate named Adolfo Franco, which just happens to be the most fascist name ever given to anybody. So anyways, with that, we will get into the first bit where Mehdi takes it upon himself to completely dismiss innocent until proven guilty.
Let's talk about other people he's appointed to his administration, not just the number of lobbyists that's caused controversy, it's the number of men accused of sexual assault, rape, and other heinous crimes. He nominated Matt Gaetz for AG, a man investigated by the DOJ for sex trafficking, accused of sleeping with underage girls, something he denies. He nominated Pete Hegseth.
And investigated for by the DOJ, might answer, and no charges.
And the House Ethics Committee said they found substantial evidence.
But the Justice Department is the Justice Department, which has more resources than a House
higher
Ethics
bar
Committee.
as well, as we know. He nominated Pete Hegseth to be Defense Secretary, who's accused of sexual assault, something Hegseth denies.
These accusations,
and
these are accusations.
And he nominated Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to be Health Secretary, who was accused of sexual misconduct by a nanny, something he hasn't even denied. Does your party not give a damn about sex crimes anymore? I mean, Adolfo, this looks like the sexual assault. This looks like the sexual assault administration led by a president.
Really, those are loaded propaganda words. Sex crimes. They've been convicted of some crimes.
Hold on. A propaganda word. Let me read out with it. Liable for sexual abuse to President of the United States, your boss. Yeah. So the head of the administration was found liable for sexual abuse, and he's appointed people accused of sex crimes.
Accused. Is accusation?
Is that okay?
Accusation.
In the old days,
I could accuse you of anything.
You're older than me. In the old days, do you think Ronald Reagan or George Bush Sr. would have got away with these kind of appointments?
In the old days, in this regard, the new days.
The
new days are these. If any of these individuals had been convicted.
So that's the bar now. You have to be convicted.
You think an accusation?
So a health ethics. So what's the point of a House Ethics Committee's investigation?
An investigation that has not concluded, and Mr. Gaetz never had
substantial evidence that former Republican Matt Gaetz had sex with a 17-year-old girl.
Did he have an opportunity to refute these charges?
So why appoint him AG when he hasn't done it? Why did Donald Trump nominate him?
But he was accused. He's never been convicted of anything.
So you're okay with that?
You glossed over a DOJ extensive investigation under a Democrat president of Mr. Gaetz that led to nothing.
So that makes him qualified to run the DOJ?
Makes him qualified to say that he never committed a crime.
You're saying someone... Hold on, I want to be very clear.
But Mehdi, you're saying if people are accused of something...
Yes, it says credible accusations.
Credible? What's credible?
The entire America runs on that basis, Adolfo. If somebody's credibly accused of it, they stand aside, they recuse themselves, they're suspended while investigations go on. You don't make them Attorney General of the United States of America.
No. For example, in the Senate of the United States, if you're indicted, you step aside temporarily from committee chairmanships.
That's a Senate rule.
Well, wait. But look how chilling your conclusion is. An accusation credible. That's a subjective term. Credible by one side.
The House Ethics Committee is not a credible group?
Yeah, that's just the one side of a
tabloid newspaper.
That's a side story. Who you haven't heard. What's one side?
How about RFK Jr. at Health?
You have heard.
How about RFK Jr.
What about him?
He was asked specifically about the nanny accusing him of groping her. He said, He said, I have skeletons in my closet.
Speaking of nannies, I don't know. The first gentleman, I think.
Great distraction.
Oh, really?
Who cares? What job is the first gentleman in?
Well, get this. He actually agreed.
Do your whataboutism, and I'll just ask the question again.
He actually said he was engaged in it.
I don't care. I'm asking about the health secretary.
Joe Biden has been accused of inappropriately touching women.
And he denies it.
RFK Jr. But that didn't.
RFK Jr. hasn't denied it.
And it is. He has not denied it.
So why is Trump nominating him to the House Secretary?
He has not been convicted of anything.
So that's your bar. You can be the highest, most official in the country unless you're convicted of a crime.
I don't think you can be other than that, be the standard. Just an accuser. Yes.
Just an accuser. Is that because Donald Trump was accused by over 24 women of sexual harassment?
No, it's not because of
that. Is that why you guys, Republicans,
I have never lowered the bar on that.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. I don't have the fact checks in front of me. I'm going to take your word for this right now, Adolfo.
All right.
Maybe I'll Google it later. But I'm going to ask you a question. Did you support the impeachment of Bill Clinton?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
I did not support
you didn't think the Monica Lewinsky issue? Because your party were obsessed with it, and he wasn't convicted of a crime.
I tell you why.
Last time I checked, Republicans cared about character and credible accusations at the time.
Do you know why the only basis about Bill Clinton, you can Google this later, is he committed perjury. Okay, he lied. He admitted later that he lied under oath. Under oath, he lied. That is different. That is perjury. However,
you and I both know Republicans went after him over the affair.
The cheapening of the impeachment process, which we began with President Clinton, was a colossal mistake and has led to these disastrous political impeachment.
And now you have this new bar where accusations don't matter, only convictions do.
Don't you believe in the right to defend yourself?
I believe there's a criminal process, but I also believe politics.
What if I accused you of something? You lost this position.
Politics. That happens every day in corporate America, Adolfo.
I would hope an accusation, unless you would resign on yourself.
I think 24 women accused Donald Trump of something. I trust 24 women over one guy.
Oh, really? A lot of publicity.
24 women are all lying.
Yeah. I think.
Well, a jury in New York disagreed with you.
A jury in a kangaroo court. Yes.
Okay. So Mehdi Hasan, a man of the law that wants to see Trump held accountable for the 892 convictions that they have thrown against him, or whatever the number is, but he doesn't want to follow the rule of law when it comes to innocent until proven guilty. Or at least when it comes to Trump and people who are right-wing, that is. I mean, in this case, Mehdi wants to be judge, jury, and executioner. Well, I mean, with that attitude, and if he cares so much about sexual misconduct, then he should be all over the Hunter Biden story. Mehdi? Mehdi, where are you? Some very nefarious stuff going on there for you to cast your journalist eye over, Mehdi. Or how about Joe Biden's sniffing hair escapades?
Don't tell mommy what I told you.
Or the fact that Bill Clinton got his hog washed in the Oval Office. And he even admitted it. He admitted it in the Oval Office with an intern getting his helmet scrubbed. And don't get me started on the allegations that are out there about Barack Obama and his lover. I mean, is his alleged gay lover, should he be just believed? Two can play this game, Mehdi, but the fact of the matter is that, to be honest, we just don't really care too much about these allegations anymore until they are proven beyond reasonable doubt. This is the same playbook that's been used over and over again. You look at Julian Assange with WikiLeaks, and all of a sudden, some woman in Sweden is accusing him, and Donald Trump runs for president, and all of a sudden, all these women come out of the woodworks, and now Matt Gaetz goes against the establishment, tries to hold them accountable, and what do you know? Some women coming out of the woodworks. And I didn't even know about this, but now apparently, according to Mehdi, RFK left the Democratic Party and now he groped a babysitter. This is a pattern. As soon as men of significance step out of line, all of a sudden, there's a woman coming out and accusing them. And all of a sudden, their reputation is being destroyed and it works. So actually, no, I don't really care too much about the accusations. I want evidence, and I want to see them convicted in a court of law. So let's have a listen to the next part now, guys. But before we get there, don't forget to smash that like button just below there and subscribe to the channel if you get value.
I want to stick with the topic because we're going to run out of time. Okay. Lies. Here's another brazen, demonstrable lie Donald Trump has told in recent days. After Elon Musk, the shadow president, came out in favor of H-1B visas for foreign workers, and the MAGA base came out against it furiously, Donald Trump told the New York Post, and I quote, "I've always liked the H-1B visas. I've always been in favor of the visas." That's a lie, Adolfo. He said in 2016, in a presidential debate and across the campaign, that the H-1B visa program was, quote, very bad, unfair for US workers, and, quote, we should end it. Yeah. Why does he lie so much? When we saw it with our own eyes.
I don't think it's a lie. I think he's for the program, but it needs to be reformed. And it needs to be reformed. It can be manipulated. It's been a system that's been used many times to sue employers. because of its use.
I understand the program.
You understand the program.
But these are your views.
Yeah.
Donald Trump did not say any of this.
Yes, he
I'm going to read it out again, just so you. I've always liked the H-1B visas.
Yeah.
I've always been in favour of the visas. Doesn't say anything about reform. Where in 2016 he didn't say anything about reform. He said very bad. We should end it. He didn't say reform it. We should end it.
Yeah.
So he lied when he said he's always for it.
And you're cherry picking in this.
I'm not cherry picking. Those are the only quotes.
In this way.
Which quotes have I missed from him?
Because you're taking things out of context.
There's no.
I don't.
This is a desperate Trump defense.
No, it is not.
Out of context.
It is
He's a toddler who you have to interpret.
No, it is not.
I'm reading his words.
It is exactly what he has said consistently. The program has major problems.
That's not what he said in 2016. I'm going to read it again to you. I'm going to read it one more time.
I think the
very bad, unfair, quote.
Yeah.
We should end it. What does end mean, Adolfo?
And I think there's a...
End means reform.
If I recall, there's a sentence or two afterwards that we need to find better ways to bring people into the country legally. And that's what he's referring to.
He explicitly says we should end the H-1B visa program. 8 years later, he says, I've always liked it and been in favour. That's a lie. Anyone who understands English knows that's a lie.
But you know,
unless English is your second language, that's a lie.
Mehdi, the program actually could be eliminated and replaced with a different program.
Fine, why didn't he say that last week? Why did he say, quote, I've always liked... I'm going to read the quote again to you because you don't like his words, I know.
No, but you're taking them out of context.
There's no context. This is a statement to the Post.
Yeah.
Take it up with the New York Post. I've always liked the H-1B visas. I've always been in favour of the visas. That is not true. He was not in favour of the visas in 2016.
I believe he has always, and I know this...
What you believe is irrelevant, Adolfo, with respect. It's what he said. This is what you always do. You come on and you say, well, Trump, you're confronted with a Trump statement. You try and find a way to spin it, reinterpret it. Because the facts are clear. He lied.
It's when I take statements that President Biden or others have said,
I don't care about Joe Biden. He's gone in 2 weeks.
He's gone.
Joe Biden lies. He lies about Gaza. He lies about lots of things. We agree. We're talking about Trump's lie now. He lied in 2016.
It isn't lies.
What is it then?
It's this. I think he has real problems with the program. The program might be eliminated, and the program will.
So why did he say that to New York Post? He didn't say I've got real problems. He said I've always liked the visas. I've always been in favour of the visas.
That is not the only statement he made about immigration or visas.
That is the statement he made to New York Post about H-1B visas.
Not in isolation.
That is what he said. People can Google it. You're wrong.
You're right.
Okay, let's talk about Elon Musk, the guy who he's basically... Trump's now bowing the knee to. He's dominating our political debate, Musk.
Well,
let's go through it.
All these loaded questions, these loaded comments.
Trump, I just gave you a blunt quote.
You're unfiltered.
Like Trump plays golf at Mar-a-Lago. Elon Musk is basically running the country. He's leading on the immigration issue. Let me go through it. He's leading on the immigration issue. He's leading on the spending bill. He's having secret meetings with the Iranians, reportedly. He's called for the Prime Minister of our closest ally, the UK, to be deposed and removed from office. Is it President Musk and Vice President Trump?
No, it is not. That is just silly.
Is it silly? I just read out multiple examples.
It is silly. Anything that Elon Musk is doing in conjunction with President Trump or at President Trump's direction.
Wow. So Donald Trump wants the British Prime Minister removed. That's a big statement.
Donald Trump has made a lot of statements about foreign leaders.
Has he called for Keir Starmer to go?
He has not.
Because Elon Musk has. You just said they're coordinating.
They're coordinating in this regard, in the broader policy issues and agenda that they're going to bring forward to DOJ. There is no question that Elon Musk has his own personality. He does not have an appointed position in the government, as you know. But he is going to have specific tasks that are going to be given to him.
Including calling for the fall of the British government.
He has opinions that he might have. I don't think he's calling for the fall of the British government.
He's literally said that, Adolfo. You should spend some time on his horrible website.
I know what he's done.
He's literally said
he's not limited
that British leaders should be in prison and the government Parliament should be dissolved undemocratically. It's called for a coup. It's called for the king to dissolve Parliament. That's a coup.
He has called for other changes under the European countries as well.
Well, that doesn't make it good. Donald Trump seems to be bothered by the insinuation that Musk is the real president. He even went out of his way recently to say that Musk can't be president as he wasn't born here in the US. It's now being reported this week that he's complaining to people that Musk is around too much.
Oh, this is all just Washington gossip. It's ridiculous.
Trump said it on the record. He said he's always around.
He said he's always around.
And he can't be the president.
He said he's always here, can't get rid of him in Mar-a-Lago, jokingly. So you get to put that in jokingly.
Only a joke? We know that Trump is bothered.
Elon Musk is going to be a strong ally.
How long till they fall out?
They will not fall out. They will not fall out.
Can I book you right now to come back on the show when Susie Wiles is fired and Elon Musk and Trump fall out?
Yes,
yeah?
and I'm going to come back when they're when they're still in.
Okay,
I don't
in
know
4
what the
years,
time-
right? 4 years.
No one usually
Why?
lasts
Why?
4 years.
A lot of Joe Biden's appointees did.
President Reagan shifted.
Well, Trump had the
people,
fastest turnover, we know that. Most people didn't last.
So guys, as much as we don't like to say it, unfortunately, Mehdi does have a point here, and they're just going to keep on using this against Trump. I mean, Trump wants to win. He wants America to win, and now he's surrounded by all of these nerds in his cabinet that are telling him that the way in which America wins is by bringing in a lot more Indians. And it is a U-turn on Trump's previous position. And unfortunately for him, there is a smoking gun in this regard, and it's this footage.
The H-1B very well, and it's something that I frankly use, and I shouldn't be allowed to use. We shouldn't have it. Very, very bad for workers. And second of all, I think it's very important to say, well, I'm a businessman, and I have to do what I have to do, and it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad. It's very bad for business in terms of, it's very bad for our workers, and it's unfair for our workers, and we should end it.
Compare that old footage to the footage of late.
Why'd you change your mind on H-1B visas, sir?
I didn't change my mind. I've always felt we have to have the most competent people in our country. We need competent people. We need smart people coming into our country. And we need a lot of people coming in. We're going to have jobs like we've never had before.
I think, Mr. President, we need high-skilled workers in this country.
Yes.
We need to recruit the best and brightest from the world. Every time we get somebody super intelligent from India or Europe, any country, that's
3 of us are
less,
immigrants, sir.
Yeah, and 3 of the 4 here are immigrants, the ones without the ties. And we can get these great people into our country, and that's a loss for our adversaries and our competitors, and it's a gain for us. But I've never heard you talk about this. Can you please promise us you will give us more ability to import the best and brightest around the world to America?
I do promise, but I happen to agree. That's why I promise. Otherwise, I wouldn't promise. Let me just tell you that it's so sad when we lose people from Harvard, MIT, from the greatest schools, and lesser schools that are phenomenal schools also. And what I wanted to do, and I would have done this, but then we had to solve the COVID problem because that came in and, sort of dominated for a little while, as you perhaps know. But what I want to do and what I will do is you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically as part of your diploma a green card to be able to stay in this country. And that includes junior colleges too. Anybody graduates from a college, you go in there for 2 years or 4 years. If you graduate or you get a doctorate degree from a college, you should be able to stay in this country.
So yes, the world has changed since then in the last 8 years or so, but those are two very different positions. And from the conservative perspective, that's not a very good evolution. And in terms of Trump and Elon falling out, I mean, I don't really know quite where I sit. I would lean towards the side that they wouldn't personally fall out because they're both smart guys and they both know how to play the game and they know who they want to keep as their ally. Even if they did have some sort of a personal difference, I don't think that they'd have a falling out. But I do think that there's a half-decent chance that Elon Musk falls out with the MAGA base. But only time will tell. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully it's smooth sailing and everybody is playing their role. Everybody doesn't need to align 100% on everything, but people need to play their role. So with that, guys, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you're getting value, and if you would like to watch another video right here. Till next time, I'm Jake. This is RattlesnakeTV, keeping you armed and dangerous.